Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we're on the website of auction portal thesaleroom.com and we're going to have a look at an auction by Stroud Auctions Limited, an auction house that we have looked at before, but I think it's a bit easier to look at it on the sale room this time. I will put a link in the description if anyone is interested. Just before I carry on, I'd just like to say if you enjoy these videos, please consider subscribing or like or comment because it really does help. So yeah, this auction is like a general auction of things, has lots of stuff, paintings, stamps, etc. But I've put the musical instrument section up here, so there's 72 items, so nothing too crazy, and I'll put a link in the description which will take you to the musical instrument section. I believe the musical instrument part of it is happening on the 13th of April. It's a 2-day sale, but lots 1000 onward are on the 13th, and it looks like the first lot of the musical instrument stuff is 1191, so 13th of April for that. 21.6% is the buyer's premium, so this is a UK based auction. If you are outside of the UK, if you're in Europe, somewhere else in the world, then bear in mind kind of shipping, import, export fees, CITES, any of that kind of stuff. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on, because we don't really have much, and a lot of the things are just kind of audio things that we're probably not so interested in looking at anyway. So there's a Swiss music box there, a little bit out of our realm, but why not, as it's a short auction. Let's have a look. Music box with some bells and things. That's quite an interesting one there. Estimates 150 to 250 pounds there. Another polyphon disc music box there, and then we've just got some gramophones and turntables. There's some pro audio stuff here, a little bit out of our remit. There's some interesting speakers here, some of which I'm sure are quite good, and then now we're starting to get into more musical instrument related things. We have a deluxe Terang harmonium here, so looks like a modern harmonium. Actually used to have one of these or something very similar. 40 to 50 on that. Is a zither harp, kind of dulcimer type thing there. 60 to 100. What else we got here? Classic bit of concertina here, late 19th century, Silber and Fleming. So not seen so many by this maker before. Estimate 150 to 250. That will sell well, as always. They do definitely do well. Let's see what else we've got here. We've got some types of flutes. Japanese Hochiku aerophone and 2 19th century flutes. Okay, interesting lot there. 100 to 150 is the estimate there. Some of these are probably quite interesting to someone. And let's just skip to the next lot rather than jumping around. A Busha alto saxophone there. Got a soprano saxophone. Interesting tape recorder. Epiphone amp there. Some kind of other bits and pieces. Yamaha electroacoustic. Italian acoustic parlor guitar labelled D'Antonio. This is a pretty low budget acoustic there. Nothing too exciting. Okay, acoustic guitar once again, nothing too crazy there. Yamaha 12 string. These can be quite nice. So it's budget kind of stuff, 100 to 150. Some of the Yamahas are quite nice. I've had a couple before. Chantry. This is a budget acoustic. Landola Finnish made 12 string with alpine spruce. Interesting. 40 to 60. It's probably a good entry level 12 string there for someone. Freshman electroacoustic, kind of modern type thing. Gianni acoustic guitar produced in Brazil, low budget, kind of classical. A Gould Stratocaster, another low budget Strat type thing. Westtone Concord 2 bass guitar. These kind of budget things from the 80s from the Matsumoko factory, but there are people that do quite like those. A Neapolitan mandolin there, Miglio and Figlio. This one not anything particularly exciting, unfortunately. Pretty run of the mill, looks like it's big neck break, so worth very little. Same with this one as well. Not the better mandolin makers. Barnes and Mullins ukulele banjo there. Clifford Essex Paragon 4-string tenor banjo. Oh, we're on to some violins. Violin manufactured in Berlin. Copy of Laurentius Storioni. Looks very much tradey. Same with the bow. It's all pretty tradey. That's a kind of older bow with a bone button. That's a little bit more interesting. Old case. Nothing too much to see there. Mid 20th century 3/4 violin with bow. Once again, nothing too crazy to see here, but a good amount of photos, so that's nice to see. Late 19th stroke, early 20th century violin with a Stroud label. Pretty much, yeah, almost classic style trade violin there. Let's just kind of double check a few pictures just in case we're missing anything. Yeah, I don't think there's anything too much on that one either. Full size, probably continental violin with a 3/4. Not so many pictures here, but difficult to tell, but I don't think there's anything too much going on there. A Beijing Jianmeng violin. So modern Chinese violin there. 300 to 500 seems a bit optimistic there on the price, but maybe someone will buy it. Beijing David Lien Model B Professional Violin, 3 to 500. Once again, seems somewhat expensive on the estimate. And a viola by David Lien. It's kind of a brand that I've heard of before. I'm sure it's a good enough instrument for a student, but £300 to £500 seems a bit high. Another David Lien viola, so they seem someone's chucked in maybe a load of store stock or something that they're getting rid of. So a Liznacello, made in Czechoslovakia. Kind of curious looking thing. Quite primitive. Be quite curious to see what it sounds like. 200 to 300. Maybe it will sell for that, I'm not sure. Let's see if we can see a bit of a larger picture there. I mean, this is a very low quality cello, but maybe it's interesting to someone, maybe more interesting than a modern budget cello. Another David Lien 3/4 size cello there. We don't really need to get into that too much. Scottish Bagpipes by David Nail with African Blackwood Chanter engraved, £600 to £800. Always interesting to see some bagpipes there. And I think that is the end of the musical instrument section. Yep, now we're on to kind of planes and things. So yeah, so there we go. That was the musical instrument part of this auction. There's lots of other stuff. Some of it's pretty interesting, so check it out if you are into antiques and things. Not the most exciting auction, to be quite honest. Very little to see, but you know, you never know. As I always say, you've got to look over these smaller auctions because random stuff does appear at times. I mean, I think the concertina, the flutes, there's probably something interesting in there for someone. I can't see anything from the guitars or mandolin, maybe the Concord bass if you're that way inclined. Nothing really on the violins. Bagpipes nice enough. Clifford Essex banjo is decent. So a few little things, but otherwise nothing too crazy. So thanks a lot for watching, really appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Many thanks for tuning in to the Musical Instrument Investigator. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like, subscribe and turn on notifications, and watch out for the next video coming soon.